What if I told you the biggest threat to your retirement savings isn't the stock market, healthcare, or even inflation? It's sitting quietly in your home, right now, silently draining your money month after month. Eleanor, a retired librarian, thought she was doing everything right. She clipped coupons, turned off lights, and avoided big spending. But no matter what, her bills kept rising. She couldn't figure it out, until one day, a repairman pointed out 15 everyday items in her home that were quietly costing her hundreds, even thousands, each year. And the worst part? Most of them looked completely harmless. Welcome to Healthy Aging Advice for Elderly, where we help you live smarter, healthier, and more financially secure after 60. If you're looking to stretch your retirement income and avoid hidden traps, you're in the right place. Can you guess which items are draining your savings right now? Stay with me, some of these may surprise you, and fixing just a few could put real money back in your pocket. Section 1. The sneaky appliances that never sleep. Most of us assume that once we turn something off, it stops using power. But that's not always true. In Eleanor's case, she was shocked to learn that some of her most trusted appliances were quietly driving up her utility bills, even when they weren't in active use. These energy vampires may seem small, but over time, they can drain hundreds from your retirement savings. 1. Old refrigerators. Eleanor kept her old refrigerator in the garage just in case she needed extra space during the holidays. But that second fridge was over 20 years old, and it was costing her nearly $150 a year to keep it running. Older refrigerators are incredibly inefficient compared to today's models. They cycle more often, leak cool air, and use outdated compressors that eat up electricity. If you have an extra fridge or freezer sitting in the garage or basement, ask yourself, do you really need it? Replacing it with an energy-efficient model or simply unplugging it could make an immediate difference. 2. Plugged-in chargers and electronics on standby. We're talking about phone chargers, coffee makers, microwaves, TVs, and even electric toothbrushes. These devices continue to draw power even when they're not actively being used. Eleanor had a habit of leaving everything plugged in, just for convenience. What she didn't realize was that those little red lights and standby settings were costing her around $100 a year in wasted electricity. That's money going straight into the pockets of the power company. A simple fix? Invest in smart power strips or unplugged devices when they're not in use, especially in rooms you don't use every day. 3. Outdated HVAC systems. Your heating and cooling system can be one of the biggest expenses in your home, especially if it's more than 15 years old. Eleanor's HVAC system hadn't been serviced in years. It struggled to heat her home in the winter and cool it in the summer, and it was running almost non-stop. After a technician inspection, she learned that replacing the system with a high-efficiency model could save her up to $300 a year in energy costs. Even if replacement isn't in your budget, regular maintenance, like changing filters and sealing air leaks, can reduce your monthly bills and extend the system's life. The common thread here? These appliances are often overlooked because they're so familiar. They run in the background, quietly doing their jobs, and we don't think twice about them. But when you're living on a fixed income, every dollar counts. By identifying and addressing just these 3 items, Eleanor began to see noticeable savings within just one billing cycle. Do you still use any of these at home? Let me know which one surprised you most in the comments. Your experience could help someone else make a change that puts money back in their pocket. And stay tuned, because the next section reveals items that could be quietly raising your water bill, too. Section 2. Silent utility bill killers. Eleanor always believed that the little things didn't make much of a difference. A dripping faucet here, an old light bulb there, hardly worth worrying about, right? But when she looked closer, she realized those little things were quietly draining her budget every single month. These are the silent utility bill killers, the small culprits that seem harmless but add up to a surprising financial hit over time. Let's walk through 3 common examples that might be lurking in your home right now. 4. Leaky faucets and toilets. It starts with a faint drip in the bathroom sink. Then a toilet that runs a little longer than usual. Eleanor ignored both for years, assuming they were minor nuisances. But after a plumber's visit, she learned that even a slow leak can waste up to 3,000 gallons of water a year. That's enough to take over 180 showers. A constantly running toilet is even worse. It can waste 200 gallons a day if left unchecked. Multiply that by 30 days, and you're looking at over 6,000 gallons a month, all while your water bill keeps climbing and you're none the wiser. The fix? In most cases, it's simple. Replacing a worn washer or toilet flapper can cost just a few dollars and take less than 10 minutes. Eleanor fixed both issues for under $50 and saw her water bill drop by nearly 20% the following month. 5. Inefficient light bulbs. Eleanor still had incandescent bulbs in most of her fixtures, not because she preferred them, but because they were already there when she moved in. She never thought to replace them. But those old bulbs use up to 75% more energy than modern LEDs and need to be replaced far more often. After learning this, she swapped every bulb in her home with energy-efficient LEDs. The upfront cost was minimal. She found a pack of bulbs at a discount store for under $10, and the savings were immediate. Her electric bill dropped by about $8 to $10 per month, and the new bulbs lasted for years without burning out. Plus, LEDs emit less heat, which means your home stays cooler in the summer, and your air conditioner doesn't have to work as hard. That's a win-win. 6. Phantom power strips. This one might surprise you. We already talked about electronics drawing power even when turned off, but what about the power strips themselves? Eleanor had several power strips in her home that stayed plugged in constantly, even when nothing was connected to them. Some older power strips draw current simply from being plugged in, especially if they have indicator lights or built-in surge protection. These phantom power strips can add an extra $20 to $40 per year to your bill, depending on how many you use and how old they are. Eleanor replaced hers with smart strips that shut off automatically when devices are not in use. She also got into the habit of turning them off with the switch when leaving the room. It was a small change, but one that helped reduce wasted energy. Together, these fixes, leaks, bulbs, and power strips, don't require a renovation budget or a team of experts. They're small, smart moves that can easily save you $300 or more per year. And for someone on a fixed income, that's money that can go toward groceries, hobbies, or even a short weekend getaway. Eleanor used to think, what's a few drips or an old light bulb going to do? But once she added everything up, she realized how much she was unknowingly paying just to keep outdated, inefficient habits in place. When she made the switch, she didn't just lower her bills, she felt more in control of her home and her future. Have you checked your faucets or swapped out your bulbs lately? Let us know in the comments. Sometimes the smallest fixes bring the biggest rewards. But don't go anywhere just yet, because the next few items don't just hurt your wallet. They could also be hurting your health. And Eleanor found out the hard way. Section 3, Hidden Health Hazards with a High Price Tag. Eleanor thought her home was her safest place. After all, it's where she felt most comfortable, where she raised her kids, and where she planned to spend her retirement. But she didn't realize that some of the most dangerous, budget-draining threats were tucked away in the very corners she rarely checked. These weren't just draining her money, they were silently sabotaging her health. Let's look at 3 common household items that could be putting your well-being, and your savings, at serious risk. 7. Expired medications. It started with a simple headache. Eleanor reached into her medicine cabinet and grabbed a bottle of pain reliever she hadn't used in a while. Later, she learned it had expired years ago. Expired medications don't just lose their effectiveness, they can become dangerous. Some may cause unexpected side effects, while others might interact poorly with current prescriptions. But the bigger problem? Outdated medications can delay proper treatment or lead to overuse. One of Eleanor's neighbors ended up in the emergency room after mixing expired cold medicine with her heart medication, an avoidable trip that cost hundreds in copays and prescriptions. Here's what you can do. Go through your medicine cabinet every 6 months. Toss anything that's expired, unlabeled, or unnecessary. Your local pharmacy can help you dispose of them safely. Not only does this keep your home safer, it prevents costly medical mishaps before they happen. 8. Moldy or cluttered storage. That old box in the basement. The musty stack of papers in the attic. Eleanor hadn't touched them in years. But when she began having trouble breathing and started sneezing more often, her doctor asked about mold exposure. Sure enough, a few forgotten cardboard boxes were harboring mold spores that had been affecting her air quality, and her health. Mold thrives in dark, damp, and cluttered areas. It's not always visible, but it can aggravate asthma, trigger allergies, and in severe cases, lead to respiratory infections that require costly treatment. Cleaning it up can also be expensive, especially if it spreads behind walls or under flooring. The fix? Start small. Pick one area of your home, like a closet or storage room, and declutter. If something smells musty, it's a sign of hidden moisture. Use a dehumidifier in damp areas, and check for signs of leaks or water damage. Eleanor invested a weekend in cleaning out her attic and noticed her breathing improved within days. 9. Old mattresses and bedding. Eleanor had the same mattress for over 18 years. It sagged in the middle, creaked when she moved, and left her waking up sore almost every morning. But mattresses are expensive, so she kept putting off replacing it, until she took a bad fall after waking up dizzy and stiff. Her doctor told her the lack of sleep support was likely affecting her balance and blood pressure. Old mattresses don't just rob you of good sleep, they can worsen joint pain, circulation issues, and increase the risk of nighttime falls. Bedding can also collect allergens like dust mites, which impact breathing and skin health. The truth is, investing in a quality mattress or even just a supportive mattress topper can reduce back pain, improve sleep, and prevent injuries. Eleanor replaced hers with a memory foam mattress designed for seniors, and within a week, she was sleeping deeper and waking up with more energy. These household health hazards don't come with warning signs. They don't beep or flash. But they can slowly chip away at your health, and that means more doctor visits, prescriptions, and out-of-pocket expenses. Have you or someone you know had a fall or illness from something in the home? Share your story in the comments. It could help someone else prevent a dangerous and expensive mistake. Coming up next, we'll uncover the lifestyle habits, like that one monthly fee you've forgotten about, that are quietly draining your retirement account. You won't believe how much Eleanor saved when she found them. Section 4. Emotional spending traps masquerading as decor. Eleanor loved the feeling of getting something new. A kitchen gadget from the Home Shopping channel, a glossy new magazine in the mail, or a decorative item she spotted on sale during a weekend stroll. Each one felt like a small reward, harmless, even joyful. But over time, these little emotional purchases started stacking up. Literally. The clutter wasn't just taking up space, it was quietly draining her finances and peace of mind. Let's look at 3 common emotional spending traps that may be costing you more than you realize. 10. Home Shopping channel gadgets. Eleanor had drawers filled with gadgets she barely used, a spiralizer, a pocket sandwich maker, even a battery-operated can opener that worked once and never again. Many were purchased during late-night home shopping marathons when the deals felt too good to pass up. These products are often marketed with urgency and emotion, limited time only, perfect for your lifestyle, you deserve this convenience. And while some might be useful, most become clutter that's rarely used. A $40 gadget here, a $60 one there, it all adds up. Eleanor realized she'd spent over $600 in 1 year on items she never touched. The fix? Take inventory. Gather all the gadgets you've bought in the last year and ask yourself, have I used this more than twice? If not, it's time to donate or resell. And before buying another, wait 48 hours. That cooling off period helps cut impulse decisions. 11. Stacks of unused subscriptions. Eleanor still had a cable package with 200 channels, though she only watched 5. She was also receiving 4 magazine subscriptions she rarely opened, and was being charged monthly for 2 streaming services her grandkids signed up for during a visit. Altogether? Nearly $85 per month, that's over $1,000 a year. It's easy to overlook recurring charges, especially when they're small. But when you add them up, they can quietly eat into your fixed income. And many seniors feel overwhelmed by the cancellation process or unsure how to find the charges. Eleanor sat down with her granddaughter, logged into her bank account, and went line by line. They canceled 4 subscriptions, downgraded her cable, and installed a simple streaming device. The result? Over $700 in annual savings and a lot less stress. 12. Impulse buys. Collecting dust. We've all been there. A decorative lamp that didn't quite match, a clearance throw pillow, or a buy one get one deal that just felt too good to skip. These impulse purchases often end up in closets, under beds, or worse, contributing to clutter that affects your mental clarity. Eleanor decided to adopt a new rule: for every new item she brought in, one had to go. She also began asking herself 2 questions before each purchase: do I really need this? And will I use it in the next month? That mindset shift alone helped her reduce spending and feel more in control of her environment. Decluttering isn't just about tidying up, it's about reclaiming your space and your financial confidence. By clearing away emotional clutter, Eleanor made room for what really mattered: peace of mind, a safer home, and more money for experiences that actually brought her joy. Have you looked around lately and seen things you once thought you needed? just sitting there? You're not alone. Share one item you regret buying, or one you're ready to let go of, in the comments below. And stay with me, because the last 3 items are the ones seniors ignore most, but they could cost you thousands. Section 5, the final drain: safety, insurance, and missed updates. Let's return to James, who had been overwhelmed by all the little things quietly draining his retirement savings. After discovering 10 out of the 15 hidden money wasters in his home, James made a commitment, not just to save money, but to protect his health, safety, and peace of mind. The last 3 items he tackled were the most critical, because they affected not only his wallet but his very well-being. 13. Outdated home insurance policies. James realized his home insurance hadn't been updated in over 5 years. Back then, he had more belongings and different coverage needs. But times change, and so do insurance policies. Without regular reviews, seniors can end up paying too much for coverage they no longer need, or worse, find out their policy doesn't cover important things like flood damage, repairs after a fall, or even theft. He called his insurance agent and reviewed his policy line by line. By adjusting his coverage to reflect his current needs and shopping around, James saved over $300 a year without losing protection. It's a simple step with huge impact. Call your insurance provider once a year. Ask about discounts for seniors, bundling policies, or updating your coverage. You could save hundreds or even thousands. 14. Unsafe stairs or no grab bars. James knew the risk of falls was real. He'd heard stories of friends injured at home because of loose stairs or slippery bathrooms. But he never thought it would happen to him, until a small misstep on his front stairs left him bruised and shaken. After that, he installed sturdy grab bars in his bathroom and handrails on the stairs. The cost was under $200, but the peace of mind was priceless. These simple upgrades not only prevent falls but can lower your insurance premiums and avoid costly emergency room visits. 15. Unused landlines or bundled services. James was still paying for a landline he never used. His mobile phone covered all his needs, but the old service stayed on the bill each month, forgotten. Alongside that, he realized his bundled cable and internet package included channels and services he never touched. By cutting the landline and negotiating a slimmer bundle, James trimmed $50 to $70 off his monthly bills, money he redirected toward travel and hobbies he truly enjoyed. The big picture: after fixing these final 3 issues, James looked back at his progress with pride. Fixing 10 out of 15 hidden drains lowered his monthly expenses by hundreds of dollars, but more importantly, it gave him something no money can buy: control over his life and confidence in his future. It wasn't about being cheap, it was about protecting my peace of mind, my health, and my freedom, James reflected. Have you updated your insurance or made your home safer lately? Let us know in the comments. Your story might inspire someone else to take action today. Your home should be your haven, not a silent thief of your hard-earned savings. Too often, unnoticed items and habits quietly chip away at your retirement funds, leaving you stressed and less secure than you deserve. But the good news? You have the power to change this today. Take control. Walk through your home with fresh eyes. Identify those hidden drains and take simple steps to protect your future, your health, and your peace of mind. Small changes add up to big savings and greater freedom. If this helped you, tap the like button, share it with a friend or family member, and hit subscribe for more smart aging advice every week.